Illinois farmers are in a fight with Mother Nature, and from the looks of things right now, they're on the losing end.
Morning Insider Vince Girasoli shows us how they're coping with financial challenges on the horizon.
A gentle wind may be sweeping down the plains on Illinois farms.
Yeah, it's just kind of quiet right now.
But in May, idle equipment and vacant fields aren't how it should be.
I feel like a caged bull. Like you want to go, but you can't.
Here's the reason why an extremely cold, wet spring continues to saturate farms, turning corn and soy fields into acres of thick, unplantable mud.
They're wet. Way wet.
We took a ride through Dave Kessel's Manhattan farm. The last 3 years, all 160 acres were planted by late April. Not this year.
Well, normally we'd be out here walking, looking at corn up about this tall.
And instead we're looking at
water up here ahead.
But if you were out here in one of your big vehicles, they'd get stuck?
Oh, and the tractor, I'd have ruts this deep in the field if I didn't get stuck. It's not good. I mean, it's not even drying on top yet.
Kessel is not alone. Mid-May figures show only 10% of corn was planted. That number is typically 66% by now, and only 3% of the soy crop was in the ground. That number is usually 16%.
All of this mud and mess is more than just a difficult sight to look at. We are already at the point where if seed is not in the ground, it means a loss in yields and a loss in the income for Illinois farmers.
Kessel says he could be losing 2 bushels per acre if he's not planted by week's end. That's about $1,300 each day.
It's frustrating because I know I have this many acres to cover, and now the clock's ticking.
Like any good farmer, Kessel's been keeping an eye on the weather.
Okay, you're thinking, all right, good. We'll just miss that next storm, and we're gonna be okay. It'll dry up, we'll be okay, and then wham. Grandpa bought it in 1914. He farmed it with horses back then.
3 generations later, his grandson, who's learned patience, sits and waits for the work ahead.
And that day is coming, or those days are coming, for sure. I hope.
And that's the kind of seed that can be planted, regardless of the forecast. In Manhattan, Vince Girasoli, CBS 2 News.
Illinois corn production ranks second in the nation with 112 billion pounds of corn hauled from the state's farms in an average year.
Yeah, not only has it been way wetter than average, but also colder than average. And the combination has meant that we don't have as much evaporation of that moisture either. A lot of cloud cover, and the rain has just, fallen and then just stayed saturating the ground. So